What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Noob Selling Options channel. Look, if you've even glanced at the charts in the last 24 hours, you know Bitcoin has just absolutely taken off. So let's get right into it and break down exactly what's going on and, more importantly, what could happen next.
The whole crypto market is on the move, and I mean really on the move. We are seeing a super aggressive push that has finally busted Bitcoin out of that range it's been stuck in and is dragging the entire ecosystem right up with it.
So you got to ask, right? What's fueling this fire? Is this just another random crypto pump, or is there a real catalyst here lighting the fuse? Well, turns out there are a couple of really specific and really powerful reasons.
Let's just start with this number, $820 million. In just a few hours, this much money was just gone, wiped out. This wasn't some gentle move up. This was a violent, market-shaking event.
And that number, that's a massive short squeeze. The huge majority of that cash belonged to traders who were way over-leveraged, betting that the price would go down. When the price ripped upwards, they were forced to buy back in, which just acts like pure rocket fuel for Bitcoin's price.
But look, a squeeze that big doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It needs a trigger, right? Some unexpected piece of news that catches literally everyone off guard. So what was it? It wasn't an ETF. It wasn't an earnings report. It was all about geopolitics.
And boom, here it is. Literally hours before a 2-week truce with Iran was about to expire on April 21, 2026, President Trump came out and announced an indefinite extension. This happened after Pakistan, which was acting as a mediator, requested it, and it basically pulled the global markets back from the edge of a cliff.
And you got to listen to the exact wording here. This is key. The ceasefire wasn't just extended for a couple of weeks. It's indefinite. It lasts until discussions are concluded, one way or the other. That phrase right there, it just took a huge amount of immediate risk off the table. And, risk on assets like crypto, they responded instantly.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty here. How did that bit of geopolitical relief actually translate into such a crazy crypto rally? Well, the news was the spark, for sure, but the market's internal mechanics, that was the engine.
So you've basically got this perfect storm of three things working together. First, like we said, that monster short squeeze. Second, a very, very bullish technical signal. The MACD, which is an indicator that tracks momentum, it just had a bullish cross on the weekly chart. For you chart nerds out there, you know that's a classic sign that a strong uptrend could be starting. And third, this isn't just a Bitcoin story. We saw a solid 3 to 5% pop in altcoins like Ethereum and Solana, showing the strength is pretty broad.
So with all this momentum, the engine is just firing on all cylinders. The next question is obvious. Where is this train actually headed? What's the destination that has every single trader glued to their screens right now?
This is it, yep, $81,000. Analysts are literally calling this number the market's final boss. It is the key level standing between where we are now and a true blue sky breakout. But why this specific number? What's so special about it?
Well, it all comes down to a technical concept called a CME futures gap. Okay, so the CME, that's the big institutional futures market, and it closes on the weekends. So if crypto's price moves like crazy over a weekend, it leaves a gap on the big money charts where no trading actually happened. And what we've seen time and time again is that the market loves to go back and fill these gaps. It's like a magnet. Now, the specific gap everyone's staring at was formed way back in February 2026. There was a rapid weekend sell-off, and it created this void on the institutional charts between roughly $79,600 and $81,200. And because it's just been sitting there, untouched for over 2 months, it's become this incredibly powerful magnet for the price.
All right, so we know the target. The market is basically at a fork in the road. Let's break down the two main ways this could play out from here. Okay, the bullish path is pretty straightforward. The buying volume stays strong, that squeeze keeps going, and the price just gets forced right up into that pocket to fill the gap. Done. The bearish risk, on the other hand, is that this rally just runs out of gas before we get there, and the market decides this was all just a big move to grab liquidity before turning around to fill some lower gaps, maybe down around $67,000.
So here is the absolute crucial point. The whole thing might hinge on one number, $75,000. For weeks, this level was a heavy ceiling we couldn't break. Now that we're above it, it has become the main floor, the primary support zone. How the price reacts right here is going to tell us pretty much everything about which of those two scenarios is about to play out.
Which leaves us with the final question, doesn't it? With the geopolitical catalyst, a monster short squeeze, and a crystal clear technical target,
Will Bitcoin have enough juice to finally defeat its $81,000 final boss? We are definitely going to be watching. Hey, if you found this explainer helpful, do me a solid, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns just like this. Thanks for watching.